Welcome everyone. Here we'll move on to the last part in the inflorescence, that is we have this few special type of inflorescence. We already know what is inflorescence, that is arrangement of flowers on the floral axis, and we have seen that inflorescence is of two types, racemose inflorescence and cymose inflorescence. Here in racemose inflorescence, the arrangement of flowers is in acropetal manner and the growth is unlimited. Whereas in racemose, every time the main axis will terminate into a flower, and even if branches are also there, it will also terminate into a flower, and because of which the growth is limited. The growth in cymose inflorescence, that is the plant which has cymose inflorescence, they show a very limited growth, and the arrangement of flowers is in basipetal manner. We have also seen the different types of cymose inflorescence as well as racemose inflorescence. Now we will move on to some special types of inflorescence. Here in our book we have three special type of inflorescence. These can neither be classified under racemose or cymose. So that is why these are the special type of inflorescence. So three special type of inflorescence. The first one is cyathium. The first inflorescence is cyathium. First special type of inflorescence is cyathium. The next is verticillaster inflorescence. Cyathium inflorescence, verticillaster inflorescence, and the third one is hypanthodium. The third special type of inflorescence is hypanthodium. So these are the three special type of inflorescence. Now let us see each and every one. So the first one is cyathium. The first special type of inflorescence is cyathium. What happens in this is the bracts will form a structure, cup-like structure. The bracts which will be forming a cup-like structure. This is the cup-like structure. So it is called as involucre. The structure is called as involucre. The structure, this cup-like or flask-like structure is called as involucre. It is nothing but it is made up of bracts. All those leaf-like structures, they together fuse and form a cup-like or conical, that is a flask-like shape, that is called as involucre. This involucre is made up of bracts. Bracts combine and form a flask-like structure which is called as involucre. Now here in this type, in this involucre, now in this flask-like structure, we find two types of flowers. We find two types of flowers. You see in the middle, the red color one, this is the female flower. The red color one, this is the female flower. Okay, this is the female flower. Now in this only one female flower is found. Okay, so these bracts, they fuse together, bracts, that is leaf-like structures, they fuse together and form a conical shape structure, that is called as involucre. This is called as involucre. That is, on this we find a single female flower. We find a single female flower. Only one. How many? Only one female flower will be present, and this female flower, it is also called as pistillate flower. Because it is female flower, it is also called as pistillate flower. Only one pistillate flower will be present and there will be many male flowers. This is one male flower, this is another male flower, this is another male flower, this is another male flower. Many male flowers will be present. So these are the male flowers. Male flowers, that is, they are many in number. Male flowers many in number, female flower will be only one. and the male flowers, they are also called as staminate flowers. They are also called as staminate flowers. So that is, in this involucre, which is made up of bracts, we find only one female flower, which is also called as pistillate flower, and we find many male flowers, many male flowers. Okay, and those male flowers are called as the staminate flowers. So one pistillate flower and many staminate flowers we find. Okay, and in this, here we don't find calyx and corolla, only this male flower consists of the stamen, the stamens, that is anther and filament. We don't find calyx and corolla. We don't find calyx and corolla. Here this one and this, these are the male flowers which will be which are nothing but stamens, which will be having only anthers and filament. So no calyx and no corolla. So only one female flower and many male female flowers. Okay. On the surface of this we find only, that is here if I count on this one, we find 6 ones, but in actuality that goes. So if we cut it like this, if we cut this bract longitudinally, if we cut this bract longitudinally, these male flowers will extend here inside, and we find apart from these ones, many more male flowers will be inside this cup like structure or flask like structure. Okay, outside also many male flowers are there, and inside also many male flowers are present. If we cut it, we can see those male flowers, that is many other male flowers will also be present. So in this special type of inflorescence now, in the flask like structure which is made up of bracts, there is only one female flower, that is pistillate flower, and many male flowers. So this is a different type of arrangement. This is a different type of arrangement. So and this arrangement, this type of inflorescence is called as cyathium. This type of inflorescence is called as cyathium. Okay, and we find this type of inflorescence in poinsettia. Poinsettia is a plant where we find this type of inflorescence. So remember, in cyathium we have an involucre of bracts. We have an involucre of bracts, that is this involucre or flask shaped structure is made up of bracts, and in this involucre we find one female flower, that is pistillate flower, and many male flowers. Okay. So this type of inflorescence is cyathium, which we see in poinsettia. Now moving on to the next type of inflorescence, which is nothing but verticillaster. This is the second type of inflorescence. This is the second type of inflorescence. Now in this is actually a mixture of uniparous and biparous cyme, monochasial and bichasial cyme. This one, this verticillaster, it is actually a combination of monochasial and bichasial cyme. These two are nothing but the types of cymose inflorescence. These two are the types of cymose inflorescence. So here these two different types are present in one. Okay, so this one, this verticillaster, it is a combination of both bichasial cyme and monochasial cyme. In bichasial cyme, what happens? Every time when a main branch terminates into flower, when it produces two branches. For example, in bichasial cyme, you see in this bichasial cyme, if this is the main peduncle, if this is the main axis or peduncle, so this main axis will terminate into a flower. This main axis will terminate into a flower. This is the characteristic of cymose inflorescence. Now, when these main peduncle or main axis it produces branch now. Every time when it produces branch, it will produce 2 branches. It will produce 2 branches, and these will also terminate into flower. Again next time when it produces, so if this produce branch, this one branch, this another branch, this will also terminate into flower. So every time when it give branches, it produces 2 branches at a time. Okay. Now if I further, so if this give branch, so it will also give 2 and terminate into flower. It will also give 2 branches, it will terminate into flower. It will also give 2 branches, it will terminate into flower. So it will also give 2 branches, it will terminate into flower. So every time when branch is arising, it gives 2 branches which will terminate into flower. So that is bichasial sign. In bichasial sign, 2 branches, but in monochasial sign, every time when it give branches now, it give only 1 branch at a time. It gives only 1 branch at a time. So that is monochasial sign. See here, this is main peduncle, it terminates into flower. Now it gives branch, it will also terminate into flower. It gives another branch, it will also terminate. So this will give branch, it will also terminate into flower. Every time it gives only 1 branch. Okay, this branch can be on the same side. Every time when it produces branches, it will be on the same side, or it can be on alternate sides. For example, this is on the same side. No, not like this. So this is the main branch, it produces branch at the left side, then again it will produce at left side, then again it will produce 1 at left side, then again it will produce 1 at left side. So here it will form a helical structure. So this is one type of monochasial sign, and another, if this is the main peduncle which terminates into a branch, which terminates into flower, then it produces this 1 branch. At which side? Right side. Then at left side it produces. Then again it produces at right side. Then it will produce at left side. So like the zigzag manner it will produce. So but it is producing only 1 branch at a time. Here in this it is producing 2 branches at a time. In monochasial, 1 branch at a time. Mono is 1. Bichasial or dichasial, 2 branches. We can even say dichasial branch. 2 branches at a time. So this verticillaster, it is a combination of both monochasial and bichasial sign. How it is? You see in this one. Concentrate on this. See, if this is the main peduncle, if this is the main branch or main peduncle, instead of drawing like this, I have drawn the box. Okay. So this is the main peduncle. If it give rise to this main axis, if it give rise to branch, it is giving 2 branches. This is the main axis, it is giving 2 branches at a time. At the starting, it gives 2 branches. So this is the main axis, it gives 1 branch and 2 branch. Again this it will terminate into flower. This branch will terminate into flower. Now again this branch, this red branch will again give rise to 2 branches. It will again give rise to 2 branches. This red is again giving rise to 2 branches. Okay, and if I see, so at the starting it is producing 2 branches. That is, at the starting it is showing bichasial sign. It is showing bichasial sign. Now after some time, it start producing only 1 branch. Main axis, at the starting it was producing 2 branches. This first 2 branches with the red. Then this red is again giving rise to 2 branches, which I have indicated with the blue color. Now after producing 2 branches for a certain time, now it start producing only 1 branch. So now it will produce only 1 branch. Okay. So this it should have produced 2 now. Now instead of 2 it will produce only 1 branch. It will produce only 1 branch. Now after which, so this has produced 1 branch now. From this side, now at this side 1 more branch. Then again this side 1 more branch. Then zigzag manner it is moving. Zigzag manner it is moving. So first it was giving 2 branches. Later on it is giving only 1 branch. So for starting in this verticillaster, the main branch has terminated into a flower, and every time for few, that is for some time, it will produce 2 branches. It will produce 2 branches, and after producing 2 branches for a certain time, then it starts producing only 1 branch, that too in the scorpioid manner. It produces scorpioid in the sense zigzag manner. If 1 branch has produced at left side, then next branch will produce at the right side, then left side, then right side. So like this it will be formed. So here also if I show you again, so this was 2 branches now. Now this will give rise to 1 branch. This will give rise to 1 branch. Now from here it will give rise to another branch. Then from here this side it was this side now. Now from this side 1 more branch. Now from this side 1 more branch. So like this, after certain time when it gives 2 branches, then after certain time it starts giving only 1 branch. So this is a unique combination of bichasial and monochasial sign. So this type of inflorescence is called as verticillaster inflorescence. Okay, and we see this type of inflorescence in Ocimum tulsi plant. Tulsi plant shows this type of inflorescence. Okay, so now first Cyatheum we finished, then next is the second type of special inflorescence is verticillaster. Now we will move on to the third type of inflorescence, that is hypanthodium. Third type of inflorescence, which is nothing but hypanthodium. In this now, for this is the axis. This is the floral axis which has swollen. So this is the floral axis. The floral axis, or even called as receptacle. We can even call it as receptacle, and this receptacle has swollen at this end. The receptacle is swollen. So it is almost like this. So if this is like this, now this has been swollen. So like this, it has changed to like this, swollen. This receptacle has swollen. It has changed to like this. So on this receptacle we find 3 types of flowers. On this receptacle, this is the main axis, or we can even call it as receptacle, which is swollen here. Okay. Now in this we find, in this receptacle we find 3 types of flowers. 3 types of flowers. So one is male flower and 2 female flowers. Female flowers. Three types of flowers. In the 3 type, the first is male flower, and we find 2 types of female flower. So one type of female flower is fertile flowers, and second female flower is sterile. Male and female flowers only, but in female flowers few female flowers are fertile flowers and few female flowers are sterile. Fertile means which will be able to reproduce, which can help in reproduction. Sterile, that is they are unable to help in reproduction. They perform different function over here. Okay, reproduction is by this male flower and the female fertile flowers. And this third type is also female flower, but these are the sterile ones. They cannot help in reproduction. They serve a different purpose here, but not reproduction. So in this receptacle or on the main axis, we find three types of flower. The first is at the neck, at the top of this, at this neck region, we find this male flowers. You see this red color flowers? These are the male flowers which will be near the opening, of the receptacle, and that is at the neck. At neck or opening of receptacle we find male flowers, and these blue ones here at down, here these blue ones are the female flowers which are fertile ones, and in between this male flower and the female flower we find, in between the female flowers, fertile female flowers, we find this black color flowers. These are the female flowers which are sterile. Three types of flowers will be there on this receptacle. The first one is first one is the male flower, the second is the fertile female flower, and the third is the sterile female flower. Three types of flowers will be present. So this type of inflorescence is seen in ficus species, fig, that is Ficus religiosa. This is the fig which we eat, Ficus religiosa, fig. Here this Ficus bengalensis, that is people plant. This type of inflorescence is seen in people plant. And this what happens is, so here these female flowers are even called as gall flowers. These sterile female flowers, they are called as gall flowers. So here this is the male flower, this is the female fertile flower, and this black ones they are called as the gall flower. Why they are gall flower? Because here in this female flowers, the flowers are like this and the style is lateral. Style will be like this, in this style, stigma, style and ovary, here it will be. So here the style is terminal here, but here in this gall flowers, the style is terminal, that is it is arising from the side. The style is arising from the side. Now here in the side, a wasp, that is an insect called as gall wasp. It will be coming inside this, and space is there, as the style is lateral, there will be space. In this space, they lay the eggs. Okay. So here there is mutual association, mutual benefit. So gall wasp is coming inside and it is able to lay the eggs. The wasp is getting a suitable place, very safe place for the eggs. Okay. And what happens? How it is helping the plant? The plant or this receptacle is providing shelter or safe place for the eggs. Then how how this is benefited? What happens is when the insects moves inside this, the wings will touch this one. The wings will touch the male flowers, and on these male flowers, pollen grain will be present. On the male flower, pollen grains will be present. So what happens when the insects move inside? The pollen grains will stick to the wings. When it moves down, the pollen grains may fall on this female fertile flowers, and because of which the pollen grains will reach the stigma. Because wasp is coming inside, because of this wasp, the pollen grains is reaching the stigma here of the female flowers. Or else, so when it goes out, while coming or while going, if it touches, if the wings of the wasp touches this male flowers. So on the wings, the pollen grains can get attached. If it moves to another axis, so now other plant, that is these pollen grains will fall into this one. If this is the another plant. So now the insect, it has on the wings, for example, this is on the wings, we have those pollen grains from here. When it moves here, when it goes down here to lay the eggs, when it goes inside to lay the eggs, now the pollen grains will fall on the female flower, thereby helping in reproduction. So this is a special type of inflorescence which is called as hypanthodium. In this hypanthodium, the receptacle or the main axis will become swollen at the tip, and here in this swollen receptacle we find three types of flower. One is the male flower, second is the female fertile flower, and the third is gall flowers, which are sterile flowers, which are female but sterile flowers. So as this is a special type in which we find three types of flowers, that is male flower, female fertile, female sterile flowers. So that is, and that too in this arrangement. So this is one special type of inflorescence. So many male flowers, many female flowers. So many flowers arranging accordingly. So this type of inflorescence is called as hypanthodium. So we have three special types of inflorescence. This inflorescence topic is very, very important. That is types of racemose inflorescence, types of cymose inflorescence. Racemose inflorescence, the type of racemose inflorescence is very, very important for long question, and these are important for short questions. So with this, we have finished the main parts of the morphology. Okay. Now why I explained you this flower? Because next two chapters are very important chapters, that is reproduction part is there, which is very important. Now after explaining you the flower, the different parts of the flower, go through it again. We will start with the new chapter, that is flower, that is reproduction. It carries many marks, that is many questions will be coming from this topics which I have explained you, and as well from the next lessons where I will be explaining you about the reproduction in flowering plants. Rest of the topics which are there in this lesson, it will be covered but later on. But as of now, I am stressing on the topics which are very important for examination, from examination point of view. Rest topics, it will be explained. Don't worry, those will be explained. But as time is less, I am moving to the first major parts. Then I will move on to the other parts which I have left. Do not worry, I will explain you all, but as this is important for the next two chapters, and those next two chapters are very important according to examination point of view. First we will finish those chapters, then I will explain you about the stem, leaf and all. So with this, after this we will move on to the next chapter, that is reproduction.